Howdy, how's it going? Today I'm going to be showing you how I installed my turbo and turbo manifold on my B Series EK. I hope you enjoy. I think this is like part 9 or something. I want to try and get more consistent with it. I just finished up my semester, so I have a lot more mental bandwidth available to devote to the car. Still have my job and other stuff going on, so I'm not completely like all I do is my car, so it's still kind of my hobby, but really enjoy sharing it with you guys. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Today is going to be kind of a big day. We're going to be getting the turbo on. Yippee! Hey, I'm excited. We're going to be getting kind of the biggest part of the engine on. I mean, it's what makes the most power, so I'm excited, you know. Unfortunately, in all of the hullabaloo, I kind of lost some of the nuts, so I was waiting for some of them to come in, and then I ordered the wrong size, like a moron, and I had to go get the right ones anyway from a local shop. So this is some of the stupid stuff that goes on when you're just working on the car, so that's why it took a little bit, but we're going to be getting it on, and I can't be more excited, so let's do it. I placed down some towels to prevent any nicks or mars on the valve cover or the center support there, and it also just kind of alleviates some anxiety when you're getting it in, when you're not worried about, you know, making everything nasty. These are old bath towels, but they have the texture of microfibers, so I love using them because they cover a humongous area and I don't worry at all, like I said, about making anything nasty. I had initially hoped to just place the manifold and turbo in as one unit, kind of making it a little bit easier, you know, not having to take the turbo off the manifold there, but it was kind of hitting because of the angle you need to get it in at. You need to angle it forward to kind of slide it onto the studs, but it was not fitting. So I'm going to just pop the turbo off. I really feel like that's going to just make it a lot easier for me in the long run here. If you are unfamiliar with turbos, there are 4 nuts in each corner of the flange here, and mine are 2 17s and 2 14s, and they thread onto the studs as well, so you are able to replace these studs or nuts if you're working on your turbo. I was having a difficult time getting a good grip on it here to get enough leverage to break that nut loose, but I eventually got it here with this How tight did I get this? Oh, dang. God, them suckers on there good. Jeez. Whew, big stupid moment. And voila, she comes right off, nice and easy. Here I wanted to show you guys the flange gasket that I was using. It's just a basically thin strip of metal, nothing too crazy. So now with the turbo disassembled, make sure it's on camera. Yeah. So now with the turbo disassembled, it should be a lot easier to get this part in because it was kind of hitting here on the turbo. So my plan is to drop this in, get it bolted on, because now this is a lot lighter and it's a lot less unbalanced, because this is maybe 20 pounds or so, no, not even 10, 15 pounds. So it just kind of bogs it down on this side. So it should be a lot more easier to get in, balanced like this. And it's skinnier too, so it should be easier to get in there. So, yeah. Now that I have it up onto the studs, I'm going to get the nuts out of my little hoodie pocket here and anchor it down so I can tighten them.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, so that was unfortunate. I had to take it back off here and I'm going to shake it out loose and get that nut back out. It was a little unfortunate. It was down there in the collector, so thankfully, I don't have to worry about it dropping into the engine. Like if it was the intake, thankfully it's down there at the bottom of the collector, but still a little unfortunate, just a few minutes of a waste of time. And I was also just making sure I didn't mark up the valve cover at all. Very anxious about that during this job. Even to the degree that I get the painter's tape out and I'm going to tape down the corner of the towel here to the timing belt just so it doesn't move around as much. When putting the exhaust or intake on, you want to follow the classic star pattern or, branching your way out. So I'm starting with the bolt, or not the bolt, the nut in the bottom of the middle of the flange there. And I'm going to work my way out with the two ones on the top and then back and forth left to right. Yeah.
so.
Can you spot the mistake I'm about to make? I put the turbo on with the paper towel left in the flange. So in order to prevent more mistakes, I ended up making a mistake. Ay, this is why having someone to help you is always nice. An extra set of eyes would catch something like that. I even fully tightened it down as well. I had all the bolts back on, fully tightened. Oh, what a mistake. Thank God, I just remembered I left the paper towel in there when I put the turbo on. I mean, I went back and watched it, so I would have probably caught it anyway, but thankfully I caught it right now while I'm still doing it. That would have been catastrophic. Oh God. Working once. I can't do this. Wow. That's what I'm Here I wanted to show you the seal between the turbo itself and the flange on the manifold. That gasket is doing a beautiful job of filling up that gap, so we shouldn't have any turbo leaks, at least from this area, in the future. and you have to give it its blanket so it stays nice and warm in those cold nights. And that's kind of how she's sitting right now. I did not put any of the oil lines on yet. I don't want to clutter up the bay too much, and there's only 2 of them, and they're relatively easy to install. One goes to the oil neck ring, and the other goes to the oil pan, so both of them are pretty easily accessible, so saving that for a future date. And there we have it. We got the turbo on. Yippee! I'm so happy to have it on. It looks so cool. I'm loving just having it on. It's making me excited to get some of the other parts on. I think we might do the radiator next. Maybe get some of the lines hooked up, because if we do the intercooler, then we'll have like the intercooler piping and the blow-off valve in the way. So might want to go for the radiator next. But thank you for watching me install the turbo today. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't blow my turbo up leaving that paper towel in it.